Salute Knicks Nation. The streets are buzzing as the Knicks get back to 500 with a big win in Philly. NBA Cup tonight. Let's chop it up as the Knicks put in a great performance on the defensive side, holding Philadelphia to 99 points, winning 111 to 99. This one was a huge performance as a team effort. Josh Hart, triple-double, first of the season. Congratulations to Lion Hart. Karl-Anthony Towns was in his bag all night and early on gave the Knicks a great start, drilling threes. But OG Anunoby was all over this ball game with his swarming defense on PG-13 and helped suffocate the Philadelphia 76ers offense, man. This one was a great win. As a team, we go back to 500 now, 5-5. Salute to the chat. Salute Knicks Nation. We're going to give out the game ball tonight. Let's get into it. Salute Replay Squad. Great to be with you, CT, your host. Smash that like button. Probably the Knicks' best team win, I think, for the season, in my opinion. We had, 6 players in double figures. Duce McBride, great game off the bench as well. We finally got our rotation expanded. We're going to talk about that with Tibbs as well and the standouts in this ball game. But I see you chat buzzing already. Buzzer Beater, Wall Street Dame, G Money, Connaught, Ches V, and Big Dave. What's up, fam? Give us your takes on this ball game. Cat's passing was sweet, Dave. Absolutely. Good team effort. Obviously, Brunson had some struggles, and we're going to talk about his 6 turnovers and, his decision-making, I think, is just the thing holding him back right now. And I want to get your thoughts on what's happening with Brunson. But, hey, this is why we upgraded the roster, because Bridges stepped in, gave the Knicks some good scoring with his post-ups. It was a case of Cat as well shouldering the scoring load. OG Anunoby, though, exploding tonight as well. NBA Cup game on TNT. Give us your thoughts on the coverage as well. They couldn't stop glazing Jared McCain on this one, but the Knicks closed it out in style, right, with their ball movement. OG with his great slam. It was a dunkathon for OG tonight, man, with about 7 dunks in style. I loved his aggression, and the ball movement was too good for Philly's defense, right? Getting guys in the corner, cutting, driving. But Hart was absolutely phenomenal tonight. As we take a look at the box score, we're ready to give out the first game ball of tonight, guys. The Knicks go back 500, and this is our first of a back-to-back. So you'll see Tibbs did expand the rotation. Welcome back, Cameron Payne. I thought Cameron Payne was a good energy spark. Some questionable shot selection, but we needed his aggression. 9 minutes for Payne. Matt Ryan, the biggest surprise of the night, 8 minutes for him as well. Didn't get on the score sheet, but he drew an offensive foul, and he was amongst it. He was mixing it up, was Matty Ryan, and so good to see him get in the rotation now, the start of a back-to-back. More sensible decision-making from Tibbs. Can we get a thumbs up for that? Omar, salute. And Ches V says, not a fan of that blue court. You and me agree on that, man. Definitely, it was an eyesore. But I love the colorfulness, the creativity, the idea. But, they just need to switch it up a bit. Denzo says, salute CT. Brunson's definitely needing attention. I don't know if it's his confidence hindering his shooting. Yeah, we'll get into that. But just early, I feel like it's him trying to wait for the defender to make a move first. He's too hesitant, trying to draw, get the guy off his feet, rather than just, rise up instantly and shoot the rock. And that contributes to some of the turnovers and some poor shots from the rest of the guys, because he's holding up the offense a bit. But he did, finish with 18 points. McBride, efficient, 15 points, 6 of 12. OG, 11 of 16. He's just coming to his own. He's OG, man. Is he your early MVP of this season for the Knicks? I mean, it'd be tough to beat OG at this point in time, but Cat's definitely coming along strong. The call was overturned. Nick Nurse was bugging with some of these calls, and so were the refs tonight. But Cat finished with 21 points, got the best of that matchup. Of course, Embiid just coming back, and he was gassed as well. But the Knicks really defended Joel really well tonight. It was a case of double teaming, and OG was all over the place, helping on that as well. Was the third quarter, which really changed things a lot. Brunson rolled his ankle in the first minute of the third quarter, and he went back to the locker room for a good 4 or 5 minutes, taped it up, I think, and came back strong. And I finished the game out stronger. But Brunson rolling that ankle, I thought we got really strong minutes while he was out. And obviously McBride helped run the show. I thought the assisting from Josh Hart, the 10 assists was huge. 31 assists as a team, big time. Also 55 rebounds, huge tick for that as well. As we take a look at the team stats, we out-rebounded Philadelphia by double digits, fam. Our gang rebounding was huge. The second, fourth efforts were big. 31 assists to 19 as well. We finished with more turnovers as well, but both teams couldn't really shoot the three ball tonight. But our 2-point percentage was close to 50%, and that gets the job done, fam, as well. And also Philly shot a lot more free throws too. We're going to talk about Joel Embiid and his efforts to draw fouls as well. The referees were conned a few times, but the Knicks got on with the job. And Paul George just wasn't enough. Obviously, they're missing Tyrese Maxey as well, but Jared McCain gave them a good spark too. Wall Street says 6 dunks for OG, looking like Vince Carter out here. Athleticism on show tonight. Shesby says, I really want to see Dadier on the court get some minutes. I think his time, he's going to have to wait a bit, because I feel like with guys returning, especially with the likes of Payne and Precious to come back soon, it looks like maybe Matt Ryan is that guy to get those minutes until maybe Shamet returns. But yeah, I think Dadier is a bit unlucky, but I'll take the win, and I like Tibbs expanding the rotation tonight. And Omar, a great call. OG looking like a new Kawhi with that one. Antonio says, I only watched the last quarter, but JB looked pretty good. Yeah, he finished strong, but he definitely had 6 turnovers in this one, and it was a little rusty with, I think, his decision-making more so. I think that's what's getting in the way of JB. For the most part, he's shooting, shots that, aren't too bad. He's getting to the rim. Tonight he got blocked as well. But hesitation, I think, is what kind of holds up the offense at times. You just need to get the ball to Cat a lot quicker, because I feel like when Cat has the ball, I really feel confident. Guys, how do you feel about Cat now with his offensive game in a rhythm tonight? So 7 of 16, 2 of 6, but was swishing early, and that set the tone. Got to the line 6 times, 83% as well. Continues to rebound the basketball really strong as well. So shout out to Karl-Anthony Towns for his rebounding. 6 assists tonight as well. We saw that pretty assist, and that was a feature to close the game out. But I like the post-ups from Bridges tonight as well. Bridges' defense stepped up a notch, and it was a great way to respond to some of the criticism that's been going around about Mikal Bridges' defense. He definitely stepped it up with 2 steals tonight and a block. +5, 14 points for the Bridge man, but couldn't hit a 3, but was deadly in the mid-range, 7 of 13 as well. Shout out to Jericho Sims as well. I thought Jericho gave us really solid minutes in this ball game. 2 points, 3 rebounds, but 2 offensive. Was efficient as well in his 1 attempt. 9 minutes, solid minutes from Jericho. I think he's starting to put together some resemblance of consistency. And it looks like Tibbs' confidence is definitely going a long way to helping him play better. But we're going to start with the first game ball and the first grade of the night. As we continue to shout you guys out, smash that like button. The Knicks get back to 500, fam. And it was a big effort from our starters. So let's give them their flowers. Who should we start with? Right. As Buzzer Beater says in the chat, Jay Hart, A+ game. Tough choice, triple-double, deciding factor on that one. Let's give him his flowers. Let's get it. let's get it. Triple double for Josh Hart tonight. All over the place tonight. His effort set the tone. Rebounding, colossal effort as well. 12 rebounds, 10 assists, a steal, a block, 14 points, plus 16, with 3 fouls and 4 turnovers and a block. But Hart's ability to run the floor really opened up our offense in transition, man. Whenever he rebounds, he's looking to push. And that's deadly for our offense as well, fam. On another night, we put up 111. And the New York Knicks are coming into tonight, fam. The top 2 offense in the NBA. We might even reach the top offense. But our 3-point shooting did let us down tonight. But nevertheless, we are thriving in transition. And Hart's a big part of that. So let's give Hart his flowers right now. Triple-double effort, big-time display, Lionheart. He unlocks other guys, and got that final assist to OG. A lot of the dunks from OG tonight were off great ball movement and great cutting as well. So with that said, continue to give out your grades, guys, for Josh Hart and his exploits tonight. He gets the first A+ of the evening. Triple-double effort for J Hart, stand up. The tenacity, the never quitting on any play, and also just getting under the skin of the opponent as well, right? You always got to be aware of where Hart is, if you're an opponent. If you lose sight of him, he'll make you pay. And he's just at that point where he's the leader. He's one of the leaders of this team. And when we are facing adversity, he definitely steps up at the right times, And I thought those minutes when Brunson was in that locker room, it was key, right? It was really, really key. So with that said, I also want to give a game ball to Josh Hart, man, for this performance tonight. Salute. The first game ball of Josh Hart for the season. Stand up. Hard tackle. What's up? Antonio says, guys are also happy because Tibbs finally played the bench. Great call. Buzzer says Sims played competent basketball tonight. It was the confidence rubbing off, when the ball's moving and we've got our wing stop tonight. Shout out to the wing stop. As we get to them in their grade, wing stop was open, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, and it was all you can eat as well. So great for our wing defenders tonight, slowing down the offense of Philadelphia, holding them to 99 points was big time, right? It's never easy. They got some talented players, Paul George, they got Embiid back. To hold Philly to 99 points was solid. And it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But we started strong and we finished strong as well, with major runs in the third and a 13-0 run in that fourth quarter to blow the game wide open. But it was off the back of that bad referee call too. We had our Westchester Knicks pick up their second win of the season too, undefeated. TJ Warren lighting it up as well. We might chop that up a bit later tonight. If you saw some Westchester Knicks, let us know. But some big-time talent in this Westchester Knicks squad as well. But here's another one of Hart's dimes to OG with the reverse jam as well, right? Super unselfish and a great team player for Josh Hart. Well done on your performance tonight, man. Big Dave says, Hart is so consistent with his all-around game. It's gone with an A. I like that. Wall Street says, Josh an A+, great all-around game. He's the heart of our team. I love that last part, Wall Street. Like I said, yeah, whenever our backs are to the wall, he never quits and he lifts the team up, with his play and his hustle as well. Super underrated. And you could tell Stan Van Gundy is a huge fan. I did notice Stan tonight. He was giving some props out to Josh Hart. So you got to love that as a Knicks fan to hear some compliments coming our way. But they were a little over complimentary of Jared McCain. I did feel like tonight, man. They were glazing him, basically. And look, he had a good game, and he's definitely a rookie, giving them a spark. But they were definitely singing his praises a little too much, right? And not enough our way, right? Next up, who should we hit on? As AP's in the building, says badly needed the win. Yeah, a good morale booster as well to get the leg on a rival we send Philadelphia now to 2-8 on their season, tied worse with the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll look at the East standings in a minute, and also the first of a back-to-back. Great night to extend the rotation, and we get back to New York City to face Chicago, where we can go back above 500. So I don't want us to have a letdown game. We'll talk about tomorrow's game a bit later tonight. But yeah, Chicago, it's going to be a nice test on the second of a back-to-back. But let's talk on OG Anunoby, ladies and gentlemen. It was a dunkathon. The chat's calling him Vince Carter, and a great ball movement results in OG getting busy with his 24 points, plus 18, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. Man, one half of Wingstop tonight was dishing it up in his 40 minutes. 11 of 16 is great, and 2 of 4 is great, man. His offensive game is really coming to another level. And I think he's really thriving playing with a guy like a Karl-Anthony Towns, Bridges, and Brunson. The extra floor spacing, one of the biggest positives for me with our offense, guys, is OG Anunoby is really being aggressive, and he's showing his confidence, because to be a top 3 offense in the NBA, things are opening up. Now we're starting to see, I think this Knicks team, we're seeing the glimpses of what, a championship offense can look like with these guys at times. And look, when you're getting 24 points from OG on efficiency with 6 guys in double figures, man, it was champagne tonight, fam. Let's talk about OG and give it his grade in a minute. David's in the chat. What's up? Says we got to win tonight, but this team isn't scaring anyone. It's not a championship caliber team, and something has to change. Let us know your thoughts on what you think needs to change, but I don't think the roster is at the final, the finished sort of product. I think maybe a couple of transaction cycles is needed to supplement the depth, but we're very, very, very early in the season. So I feel like there's a long ways to go. Now let's talk about OG Anunoby with his grade. Right. Absolutely buzzing tonight. And I can't give OG anything else but an A+ effort. And we helped shut them down. Paul George was the assignment, and he shut him down. And he was getting busy offensively as well, exerting a lot of energy in his 40 minutes. But with his shooting, the dunking, and the driving, and so many deflections that don't show up as well, man. He disrupted a lot of post-ups from Embiid that don't show up on the box score. When Embiid's got that position on Cat and he gets it down low, or he's got the mouse in the house, OG is the one to come across and break that play up as well. So, I mean, the stats don't do him justice, because OG just basically is all over the place and super disruptive. What do you give for OG Anunoby? We got 2 A+ for the night, right? But I'm not going to stop there, because I feel like, to do it justice, I feel like OG deserves a game ball as well. So with that said, I'm going to give the second game ball of the night to OG Anunoby, man. I couldn't split them. I feel like Hart and OG both deserved a game ball in this one. And so there you have it. OG Anunoby. Well deserved for this game ball tonight, man. A+ along with Jay Hart. 2 guys that really mixed it up tonight. AP says, any word on Brunson? He finished the game out, so yeah, he's cool. He's good. He finished the game out strong. It was a rolled ankle, and he'll probably be a little sore, and he might be questionable for tomorrow, but nothing official yet. We'll fill you in if things come to light. Big Dave says, we don't win this game last year if JB played like this. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to look at it. More guys aggressive, more guys able to relieve him to fill the scoreboard up. Duce McBride, huge off the bench. Obviously, Cat, would have loved Cat to get more shot attempts as well, as JB was a little ball dominant at times. And we're going to talk about him coming up. Wall Street Dame says OGA+, high caliber play on both sides. And Michael Armstrong says gritty win. And Big Dave gives OG an A+ as well. And Buzzer also, a second game ball, agrees with me. Great to see it, guys. Yeah, also, as AP puts in the chat, prayers up to former Knick Tim Hardaway Jr. I haven't seen it yet, but apparently he took a couple of contacts to the head and I had to leave the game in a wheelchair as well. So we're sending our good vibes and prayers up to Timmy Hardaway Jr. What's up, Jay Giant? Salute. Got 2 A+, 2 game balls for the guys, OG and Hart. Now let's talk about Cat, Karl-Anthony Towns. He loves that Embiid matchup. He really does. 38 minutes. He was 2 of 6 from distance, 7 of 16. Got to the line 6 times. Continues to shoot efficient from the free throw line. Also gave us huge 13 rebounds, 6 assists from our big man. Just 2 fouls. 3 fouls, 2 turnovers, 21 points, and a +11. And so had this play unfortunately ruled a goaltend, so that should have been 2 more points as well. So got to shout out Cat, would have finished with 23 points. And also bad call for the referees, missing that obvious goaltend that you see on screen right now, man, right off the glass. It was swatted by Drummond. And so Big Cat's performance, man, I liked it. I love his rebounding. I love his ability to get position down low. That dime that he had, man. And also one of this play here where he just never gave up early and it got us a 3, right? Got the offensive rebound or got us an OG dunk on that one. So I'm seeing a lot of hustle from Cat, which is silencing some of the doubt. So with that said, I'm going to give Cat his grade for the evening as we continue giving these starters their flowers tonight with the best chat in the biz. Cat gets an A- for me. A real balanced game and won his matchup. Man, was super aggressive and just helps open the offense up so much. And I loved his decision making. Really didn't force it as much. His shot selection was good tonight. Wall Street says, I'm sure NBA players hate playing against OG. No doubt about it, man. My selection for Defensive Player of the Year. And I think if our record is top 2 seed, I think he'll have a great chance. Brian has gone with a B for Cat. Danelle says, love the breakdown on the bottom of the screen. Appreciate you, man. I try my best throughout the game to summarize the key takeaways. And Coach, what's up? Salute. Cat is the best big in the East. I think he showed it tonight. He absolutely showed it. And we just got to get him more threes. And I love his quick decisions as well. But his hustle is really what stole the show for me with the rebounding and all of that. And but what I do want to see is more pick and roll, more pick and pop. I think sometimes Brunson and him are at the top of the key, but Brunson, like I said, as we're about to hit on Brunson, he's a little couple of seconds just too late. He's hesitant getting the ball over to Cat to make a quick decision. Because Cat's great at getting downhill as well. Coach says Cat's passing was in his bag tonight. Man, not going to lie. Great comment. And I'm going to bring up the best assist of the night from Cat. Showing off that vision. Look at that, man. Finding him in rhythm. And Mikal Bridges, great cut as well. McCain, the rook, was shook with that one. We have a leak as well. The New York Knicks official city jersey, white ones, are going to drop and this upcoming week. What do you guys think about it, man? I like them. I think they're clean. I like them. Let us know your thoughts, man. Rate these city jerseys, man. The white with the italics. These city jerseys are going to be dropping, man. I haven't got a Brunson jersey yet, I must admit. But obviously, I'm looking at Cat as well. I'm looking at OG closely. I definitely like the white. I like the pinstripes. And I think it's something different. Something different. Now let's hit on the next New York Knick, right? We've got some great grades coming through. The chat's on fire as the Knicks picked up their 5th win of the season. We've got Nelly Nell in the building. Salute. Jay and the Hart, the soul that outplayed everyone. Well deserved. Well deserved. As we're about to touch on Mikal Bridges, and then we'll hit on the captain. But yeah, I really like Bridges' game tonight. 7 of 13, deadly in the mid-range as well. You need that balance, you know. I don't want everyone to shoot in threes. I like the cutting in the mid-range for Bridges tonight. The post-ups especially. The 3 assists was good. 2 steals and a block. The second half of wing stop got active tonight. I love it. What did you guys see from Mikal Bridges? Right. Never stopped moving. But let me bring up one of his fadeaway buckets here. I know the Knicks have been hunting this quite a bit throughout the season, and sometimes we've got bogged down in our offense a little bit. But when he's quick like this, a couple of dribbles, get into his position, you know, deep into the paint, that's a great weapon for us and for the New York Knicks. Can shoot over the top of those smaller guys, you know. So you can't go small against the New York Knicks for that specific matchup. He's got the length and he's got the touch and he's got the feathery touch as well. He's been really good in the mid-range area as Bridges. And obviously he's been down defensively. You know, I've been one of his critics. I just wanted to see more. I know he's capable of more. And tonight he delivered with it. So I thought Mikal Bridges was solid on both ends of the floor, right? Couldn't hit the 3 ball though. And, you know, obviously that's a big part of what we need from him. But 14 points plus 5 with the 2 steals and a block was solid. Would love him to pick up some more rebounds, but Cat and Hart was gobbling up all of them. So 35 minutes, big time effort, I think, for Mikal Bridges tonight. So let's pull up his grade and also put your grades in for Mikal Bridges right now. It was a good team effort, and I like Bridges' game on both sides. I'm going to go B+ for the second half of wing stop. What do you guys think? Wall Street's feeling the white jersey. We've got Brian coming in with a C- for Bridges. He plays better when he creates versus spot shooting. I appreciate your thoughts. I think Bridges was better than that tonight, but I think obviously there's ways to go. I feel like he's not at his best. I feel like he can play even better. Running some offense was key as well. Obviously, when Brunson was out, you know, we needed some guys to pick up extra ball handling. So, you know, the guys had Brunson's back tonight. And as we're about to hit on Jaylen Brunson, yeah, like a great comment that, you know, the chat said earlier, which is we don't win this ball game last season without this, you know, at times with the extra depth we've got in the starting 5, you know, to withstand certain runs. And Philly did make a great run in that third. You know, I was frustrated. And I thought, there's no way we can let this one slip. Remember, Philly did get up by 1 point. A 3-pointer by Paul George put them ahead. And I thought, man, could this be the catalyst for the Knicks to, you know, to lose control? But some big plays. We won a big challenge call. Shout out to Tom Thibodeau and the coaching staff as well. Got the right, you know, challenge call correct. I think there was a lot of dubious calls tonight, including the missed goaltend on Cat. And of course, the offensive foul call on Cat, which was bogus on that one. And also some flopping from Troll Embiid, man. Don't get no finer than this in terms of a flop, man. Look at Duce. Look how frustrated Duce McBride is. He literally does nothing there. Embiid, which is about 300 pounds, runs into a small point guard and basically falls back. Like he's just been hit with a medicine ball, man, in the gut. It's just crazy what we get from Joel Embiid at times, man. This is what we're going to deal with, and we know it well. What's up, Lemmy Live has gone with a B. Troy's in the building. Says Tibbs stay true to form. Started 22-23 with a 5-5 record. 23-24 with a 5-5 record, and now 24-25 with a 5-5 record. Great stat, fam. I did not know that. It's how you finish as well, not how you start. But we've got ways to go, and certainly we're hopefully on the right track to build more chemistry. Like some concerns mentioned before by David, right? I feel like we're not playing at our best, right? That's pretty obvious, and we can get better with better health and better chemistry, and obviously a better Jaylen Brunson now, which we're going to hit on. So prayers up to Brunson. Hopefully he's okay. He seemed fine to finish the game out, but obviously tomorrow's a back-to-back, so we've got to be sensible. I wouldn't risk it. You know, if the ankle is sore or it's tender, I definitely would sit him out for a game. You know, you let Duce control the offense. We've got, you know, Mikal Bridges, we've got Cameron Payne healthy now as well. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. I'll check if Tibbs has given us an update in a minute, right? But the ugly tonight for JB was the 6 turnovers, some poor decision making at times. Definitely held the offense up. Couldn't hit a 3-pointer as well. 0 of 4 from distance and 5 of 15 from the field. For the most part, 3 bad quarters, but did finish the game pretty strong as well. So helped the Knicks get the win and push ahead. So give him some credit for that. But the 5 assists is pretty solid as well in 34 minutes. +7 still. 18 points for Jaylen Brunson. Got to the free throw line 8 times and was 100% from the free throw line. So the quintessential mixed bag, I think, from Brunson tonight. I love the free throws and also the way he finished the game, but there were struggles all throughout. So with that said, Brunson has to be better, you know, and certainly, hopefully, that comes sooner rather than later. The decision making, once again, is key for me. So I'm going to go C+ for Brunson. Came back and fought through the pain barrier as well to give this New York Knicks team a bit of a spark late and get McCain in the blender and take him to the rack and be aggressive getting to the foul line. Westchester Leicester says Maxi cooks us if he played in the 4th. We got lucky. Look, our wing stop was on point, and I'll give you the point where Maxi playing would have been a better option for a Philly, but McCain was pretty solid tonight. But look, I wouldn't use that as an excuse if I'm Philly either, because we're missing a lot of guys too. So we're missing a lot of guys. Mr. Nixon says, Josh Hart, war machine. That's a great call. You definitely want to go to war with someone like him, man. He's got your back. Greg says, if Maxi had played, who knows if we would have still won the ball game. I mean, you could always say if on all those things, but yeah, you know, good player that they were missing, but we win by 12 points, fam. So, you know, I think guys should have a lot more confidence in us. You know, these games are going to be close. You know, Philly got talent, and it's all about how you finish with this one, but it's still so early in the season. Wall Street Dame says we need all-star level JB to bring us to the top of the league. That's the point where if Brunson comes back soon, then we go to that next level, in my opinion. There's no doubt about it. We reach that next level. But feed the hot hand, JB. Just to conclude with Jaylen Brunson, as we move along to the bench and Duce McBride tonight, we got a great bench spark. But just feed the hot hand, Jaylen. You don't have to score 40 a night now. This is a different team. And hopefully, you know, we start to see some more 10 assist nights from JB because he can do it. Brian's given him a D-, worst game of his Knicks career. Turnovers were at the worst possible times, and he couldn't find Cat or OG wide open. I think Brunson's had some worse games, but this is definitely, in my opinion, among the worst. But I think that the other guys were gritting it out, you know, in his absence, which is pleasing. Now, Duce McBride. The Duce got loose, and welcome back. 6 of 12 from the field, 3 of 8 were big time. Stan Van Gundy on the call was singing his praises. You love to see that. 15 points plus 12. Gave us 2 assists and 2 steals. Duce got gritty tonight with just 1 turnover and 1 foul, which was a bogus foul that you see as well. So with that said, man, I love Duce's energy tonight, man. The only thing is obviously the 3-point ball, 3 of 8. It's not bad. It's pretty decent, but normally he's been better. And so that would have blown the game even further open if he had swished a couple more. But 6 of 12 from the field is solid. And I love Duce's game tonight with his 15 points and a huge plus 12 in his 25 minutes. And I took advantage of his matchups, got into the paint. And Duce was aggressive for me. So with that said, let's give a grade for Duce. Let us know your thoughts, fam. I'm going to go big time effort for Duce McBride. Was super efficient as well, so, and disruptive. So with that said, I'm going to change that. I'm going to switch that up. I was going to go B+, but I'm actually going to go A- for Duce McBride, man. Integral to this win. You know, we probably don't win if Duce doesn't give us this kind of production off the bench, and a huge spark indeed. Antonio says, I don't mind if JB plays bad with the other guys around. Yeah, that's a great wise thought. I think, you know, when you've got a more talented starting 5, you know, you're going to see more nights where 2 or 3 guys are killing it and maybe a couple guys are quieter, you know, and I think we're going to come to get used to that a lot more. But I guess with Brunson is, you know, you don't want his games, his low scoring games to be high turnover. You know, if he's just passing the ball and getting high assists and not scoring as much, I think that's more ideal, obviously. So we'll see how that plays out further down the line. But JB's a leader. He's hard on himself, and he'll get right. I got no doubt about it. But yeah, let's see tomorrow. Does Duce play more minutes? I'm going to refresh X right now and see what's up with the latest and Tibbs and the updates. We've got Kendrick Perkins chiming in. Says OG Anunoby out here looking like Scottie Pippen against the Sixers. Absolutely. We've got James Edwards. Says Tibbs had almost put Matt Ryan out there last game, but with no practices and him just getting here, he didn't want to rush it. Okay, so that's maybe Tibbs covering his behind, basically, after the criticism of not going further into his bag, right? But we're saluting Josh Hart for his first triple-double of the season, and it was super impressive as well. Hart and Karl-Anthony Towns scored or assisted on 63% of the New York Knicks' 111 points tonight. Man, reporting Ian Begley, right? The first NBA Cup game, that 11-point buffer is big time when it comes to the scoring and the margins, which are going to count later down the line. So yeah, interesting quotes from Tibbs on Matt Ryan. So it looks like he's going to feature into the rotation more now as we touch on the rest of tonight's bench. Right, Cameron Payne returned as well. Let's salute him. And we'll talk about Sims and Matt Ryan. Right. We've got Buzzer Beater with a A- for Duce. That's what's up. Salute. David M says, good to see Tibbs go 9 deep tonight. He's got some trust in Matt Ryan. I will see if, you know, if it happens moving forward. You know, we'll see. Just guys, yeah, keep it civil in the chat. You guys know what it is. Keep your opinions and you know, keep it respectful with your opinions as well. And we shout you guys out, right? But you got to keep it civil in the chat and keep it respectful. They're the guidelines of the channel. Otherwise, I'm going to be blocking some people. So just keep it respectful, man. So let's talk on Cameron Payne, right? Great to see Payne back. 1 of 5 though, and 1 of 2. Man, did he, you know, have a heat check at some point. So you always get the best of the worst of Cam Payne in one game, right? And he came back to a place that he's familiar with. And with that said, he drilled the 1-3 that was key, but outside of that, didn't do too much else. 3 rebounds, 3 assists was a -4, right? So I love the energy that Payne provides, but his decision making for me wasn't great tonight. Right, 1 of 5 from the field. It's all going to be about his shot selection. So I'm going to go for Cameron Payne in his return to Philadelphia. I'm going to go a C for Cameron Payne. So there's plenty of guys keen to see more Tyler Kolek, right? There's plenty of guys keen to see more of him, right? And nights like tonight let you know that I think we could get more out of that position with a Kolek at some point. So I won't be surprised, at some points in the season, if we do see a Tyler Kolek and a switch up. So let's see. Brian says Payne a C, but gave guys a rest without losing some ground. So I'm good. Yeah, great call on that. We got guys like Dadier. Look, I don't know how soon Dadier is going to get any minutes, fam. I would like him to get minutes. I think he deserves to get minutes. I just don't feel like Tibbs is going to go that route right now. I think Matt Ryan obviously is the more recent signing, and the fact that he's just got in, I think, paints the picture of what to expect. But yeah, it's a shame, but Dadier's young, it's early, and it looks like Tibbs is going to give that chance to Matt Ryan. But on the other hand, about Tyler Kolek, I could see a world where he supplants Cam Payne. We've obviously got the other battle between Sims and Huck Porty going on. So with that said, Jericho Sims, man, great energy tonight from that position. 2 offensive rebounds, 3 rebounds total, a block as well. That was a key play where he blocked Drummond, and one of his best games, I feel like, of the season for Jericho Sims. In his limited minutes. Obviously, he's not an offensive-minded guy, but I thought he gave us good energy tonight. Did Jericho, and got his block as well. So he's coming along. He's starting to put together some more consistent performances. With that said, so I'm going to go for Jericho, a solid B off our bench. In his role, I think he did his job in that role. But you love to see better defense, him deter some shots at the rim, and pull in some of those rebounds as well. So that was key for Jericho. About Jake Toppin, he's definitely not going to see any minutes. Two-way player. He's back and forth with Westchester, and Tibbs has had a couple of years look at him, but I don't think Jake Toppin's going to be getting any minutes at this point in time. But look, Westchester development is still, good for these younger players, because I think it's a good story about Duce McBride. That shows that it really does aid a player's development. I think throwing a player out there in these big games in the NBA, can sometimes hurt a player's confidence as well at times. So G League is a good place, I think, for a Toppin and for Dadier to begin. But what about this call, man, from the referees, right? They were bugging, calling an offensive foul. And this is what changed the game, right? So Tibbs got the challenge call. So let's give Tibbs his grade right now. What did you guys think? Expanded the rotation and made the right challenge calls. Got some guys in there. So I'm going to give Tibbs a B+. We got the win, and it was a good bounce back. But Precious Achiuwa's on the way back soon, David. So looks like Precious will get in really soon, inching closer, which is great. Great to see our bigs rotation get stronger. And then obviously Mitch is going to be the next guy. But you guys know where I stand. I would love to see Huck Porty see some minutes. I just don't think that it's going to happen right now, because he's trusted Sims, and Sims is playing better. So we'll see. Brian's gone with a B+ for Tibbs. Can't be afraid to rest JB, though, when he's off. That's a great point. Tibbs, though, he's always going to ask JB, "Are you good to go out there?" And JB will say, "Yeah, I'm good to go." Um, so that is our New York Knicks tonight, man. Matt Ryan, actually, we haven't given his grade, but he was 0 of 3 in 8 minutes and missed his shots tonight, but did draw that offensive foul, right? So he did play 9 minutes. Not much, you could say he's part of the rotation. I get the argument that he's not part of the rotation in terms of playing a half as well, but 9 minutes is sufficient, I think, to say you're part of the rotation. But moving forward, we're not sure how long that's going to continue, right? So hopefully he can contribute and give us some points, right, and not be a liability defensively. So I mean, kind of got to give Matt Ryan a grade which is kind of incomplete, but I'm going to give him this anyway. We'll give him a C minus for Matt Ryan, right? His job is to come in and drill a couple of threes. If he's not shooting any threes, he's kind of not really doing his job. But I guess he held his own at certain points in the ball game, right? In a very small sample. But to the point of the chat, he did give guys a breather, and he did help guys get their rest in as well. And I'm all for that. Expanding the rotation is better than nothing, too, man. Even it is really small sample, but Precious, him coming back is going to give a big spark to this team, and I think that could take Sims out of the rotation. That could be interesting. But our starters carried us tonight, man. OG Anunoby, Josh Hart. Great to see other guys step up when Cat and Brunson, aren't doing it at all. But OG was in his bag tonight, so salute to them. And Tibbs gets his B plus as well. I would love to see Tyler Colette get in the rotation, though, I'm not going to lie. And we'll see how that plays out. But it looks like Matt Ryan is holding that seat for Landry Shamet for now, I feel. I really do feel like Landry Shamet will end up back on the roster when he is healthy and finished from his rehabilitation, right? But we're taking this win in its stock, right? This was another get right game for me, ladies and gentlemen. We are 5-5, back to 500. It's pleasing to beat a rival. I'm definitely not getting carried away. But what I want us to see now, man, is just build on our consistency. Just be consistent from here on out and go better strength to strength after this, right? And not regress or go back to some poor defensive efforts that we've seen in the last couple of games too. So, Brian says chemistry game too. Brian says Matt Ryan gets the C plus. Took that charge call. Salute. Okay, let me just fix something in the chat. We're just going to have to hide some guys for the night because, yeah, like I said earlier, man, if you're calling each other out, that's not keeping it respectful. The channel's got these guidelines, and you guys know what it is already by now. So I don't want to have to hide any more else in the chat. Appreciate the love and support, but you got to also abide by the guidelines, fam, as well, to keep things buzzing up in here. David M says, I'm excited to see how Cat will be drawing Embiid away from the basket. And AP says we need Steve Novak back. Yeah, no doubt about it. I think Matt Ryan can really help this team, but defensively is where, he's going to be under the fire, under the microscope. With that said, guys, as a team, before we look at the standings now, the most pleasing thing as a team was the assists. Once again, great ball movement, and we are deadly, guys, coming in at the number 2 offense in the NBA. Another 111 points tonight. Shout out to the replay squad in the chat for all their buzz. Right, rebounding was great. 55 rebounds, 31 assists though. That's what you want to see, man. On a night without all our turnovers, we could have had 40 assists tonight easily. And look, Philadelphia is not a great team right now. They are definitely, they're struggling. They're not a great team defensively, man. And look, Embiid, I don't know about that experiment, man. With him returning, he just doesn't look right, right? And it's going to take time, obviously, but how healthy can he be? Come towards the end of the season is going to be a huge factor, right? As we take a look at the East, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Cleveland 12-0 right now. 12-0. Is it fool's gold? Let me know what you think of Cleveland's start to the season. You got Boston 9-3. You got Orlando 6-6. The New York Knicks coming in the top four still, 5-5. Indiana 5-5, and Brooklyn rounding out the playoff positioning at 5-6. We got Detroit 5-7 and Atlanta 5-7. But let me scroll all the way down, man, all the way down. They're so bad, they're out of the picture right now. The Milwaukee Bucks 3-8. Looks like they picked up a win. And tonight's loss by Philadelphia, handed to by the New York Knicks, makes them 2-8 on the season, man. That's a deep hole. That's a hole that is going to be tough to come back from, man. But they got Embiid back healthy. It's early in the season. But to get back to a top 4 seed, yes, they could probably get back into that play-in picture, man. But what do you guys think? Are Philly close to being done? Do they need to switch things up? What do you think? Antonio says Embiid looks bad. I mean, he's flopping. He's not in a rhythm, obviously, right now. But I think Paul George is the guy that's going to help them. David M says we just have to get Mikal going. He needs to be a little more aggressive. Yeah, I agree with that. I think the offense isn't even close to being as good as it can be, as they build more chemistry and cohesion. Buzzer Beater says, CT, you are correct. We are not seeing a 100% level Embiid. Antonio says he set a screen for PG and crashed on him on the fourth. I think health-wise, it's just the biggest concern for Embiid, ability-wise, we know what he is, but health-wise, you just can't count on him if you're Philly, right? I think they should have traded Embiid 12 months ago, to be honest. But look, I might be wrong. Maybe they bounce back. But good news for the New York Knicks, right? We've got 2 rivals out of the way early, right? Despite a slow start, those 2 teams haven't capitalized as well. Because if you look at it, despite the Knicks' bad start, if Philly and Milwaukee had started better, we'd be under more pressure. We'd be probably all the way down to 6th or 7th. If some of these other teams started the way people expected them to, Miami included, and obviously Atlanta are still mediocre right now as well, despite beating us. We shouldn't have lost that game, right? But Milwaukee, I think this is the beginning of the end for the Bucks, and also Philadelphia. They've really got to work out their identity. Who they're going to play. There's a great case to play Jared McCain more over your Caleb Martins. Your Kelly Oubres. These NBA journeymen. Eric Gordon. People tried to tell me that was a good pickup. People tried to sell that Eric Gordon and getting Andre Drummond was a difference maker for Philly, in all of the off-season noise that they made. I mean, hasn't come true so far, and right now our depth, for as shallow as it is, we've got just as amount of guys that can give the same level of production as some of their, marquee signings, Kelly Oubre extension, Eric Gordon, Caleb Martin as well. They're relying on Jared McCain already this early in the season. That tells you all you need to know. But yeah, the pleasing takeaway is that our starting 5 starts to look better and better offensively, guys. Another night, 111 points. Despite the 3-point shooting not being great tonight, we still put up 111 as well. We had them in trouble, foul trouble. Our ball movement, unselfish play was great. 31 assists, and led by Hart and OG tonight, man. Really proud of the team tonight to bounce back. It was a get-right game. Forget about the NBA Cup because I'm not really focused on that right now. If you just want to get my thoughts on the NBA Cup specifically, I like the concept. I like the innovation. I will get into it more as the games progress, and obviously it's a great start to this NBA Cup group, undefeated in the first game. We are the betting favorites to advance in our group, fam, with Charlotte, Brooklyn, Orlando, and Philly. We are the favorites to advance as well. But obviously, it only means you play 2 extra games. You end up in Vegas for that weekend, so I'm not really worried about the extra games because the rest of the pool games are going to be, real regular season games. So I'm not really sweating that so much, dude. But before we look at some highlight plays of the night, let's just take a look at the results from tonight. Looks like Phoenix, great start to the season once again. They're going to beat the Jazz. We got some former Knicks in Minnesota doing battle right now, losing to Portland. That's an interesting score, although it's early in that one. We've got Klay Thompson's return to Golden State. They are losing to the Mavericks. Orlando pick up their win to send them up slightly above or tied with the Knicks at 6-6, and we are 5-5. Clutch win by the Detroit Pistons, man, in overtime. Great to see them get up and defeat the Miami Heat, beat the Heat, sending the Heat to 4-6, and Detroit are 5-7. What do you guys think about that? Who's been your surprise in terms of success? I mean, outside of Cleveland, I guess. Right. Cleveland aside, what's been some of your biggest surprises? Right. For me, it's been how bad Milwaukee and Philly have started. I expect them to start a bit better. Clutch win by the Atlanta Hawks as well. Great to see the Celtics pick up their third loss, man, 9-3. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The Boston Celtics only have 2 less losses than the New York Knicks, right? If we hadn't have lost to, well, take your pick. If we hadn't have lost to Houston, we hadn't have lost to Atlanta, or we hadn't have lost that other game, Indiana, some of those losses, man, the New York Knicks would be tied with Boston. That shows you how even the East is right now. And obviously the Milwaukee Bucks, man, got their much-needed win over a wretched Toronto Raptors, man, at 2-10 on the season. Right. So some surprising results, but great to see, man. Great to see Detroit get a win over Miami. I like that for the evenness of the East, and also like to see, obviously Boston take an L. But your New York Knicks still tied for third right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick look at our stats as well. I want to see if the New York Knicks offense net rating has changed. So let me pull this one up. Teams. Okay. Teams traditional stats. Let's get into that. This website's bugging a little bit. It's not letting me bring that one up, fam. So what I'm going to do is just going to open up a second window and get this thing popping. Right, the New York Knicks offense. Wall Street Dame says Detroit is turning it around. Cade is a leader. I'm not surprised about the Pistons, says Brian. And David says, CT, do you think the Cavs are legit? Yeah, I've said that last show, I believe. They're going to be amongst it, but I still don't think they're a legit threat. And I'm really being honest. I'm not trying to throw Cleveland shade. I'm not trying to make a joke of it. I really don't buy into their chances of being a contender yet. I just don't think the way they're constructed. They're a really strong team, and they'll probably be a top 3 seed. I just think they're probably a second round exit. Once we get Mitchell Robinson back, it's a wrap. Like, Cleveland cannot handle a guy like Mitchell Robinson. They just can't. Right. You know, even in our game, in our loss to Cleveland, guys, you know, when we brought Huck Porty on, you know, forget about that offensive foul that he created. He took it strong to the rack and he jammed it on Evan Mobley. Right. If the refs don't give them that call, there's a great chance we go on to win that ball game. So I think it's early and it's a case of Cleveland enjoying some early success, you know, and they've done that for the last 3 seasons. So it's, you know, it's kind of nothing new for me, you know. With that said, um, so here we go, advanced stats. Okay, let me get this on the main screen so that you guys can see. Okay, here we are. We're in NBA.com. We're in advanced stats right now. So let's get into, let's look at net rating first. Okay, so the New York Knicks are currently 8th in net rating right now. Let's go into offensive rating. Okay, we are 4th best offense right now, but obviously there's some games in flux right now. The Golden State Warriors are still playing. Boston took an L today, and yeah, Cleveland are flying. So I'll take it, man. Top 4 offense for right now, and our offense still got ways to go. Where's our defense right now? We are 19th in defense, man. In defensive rating, we are allowing 113. Here we go, 113 points per game. But yeah, obviously that Indiana game really killed us, giving up 130. So I think yeah, it's quite askew right now. I think that Indiana game, that loss to Indiana, will really hurt our defense, our defensive rating. But yeah, right now we're allowing 113, right, which is way too high, and we are the 19th best defense in the league. So once that gets to hopefully top 10, at least, if we can be a top 5 offense with a top 10 defense, you know, I've got no doubt we're going to end up being a top 3 seed, top 2 seed in the East, right? It's just our offense and our defense can't be too far away. But Buzzer says, CT, what is Atkinson doing in Cleveland? He's a great motivator. He's a great coach for detail and fundamentals. But I think he's got a deeper bench now. You know, he's got the likes of, he's getting more production out of his bench, you know, with Sam Merrill, Karis LeVert, Georges Niang, Isaac Okoro, and they've got Max Strauss out right now, and they've got Tristan Thompson out. But I think it's really their starters that are carrying them. You know, Darius Garland raised his level of play. It's the case of, you know, Spider Mitchell starting the season really strong, and Evan Mobley, you know, making a leap. Evan Mobley's really making a leap. As we look at turnovers, your New York Knicks are only averaging 13 turnovers, so we're 7th in the league at taking care of possessions, too. But assist percentage, man, our assist percentage is 21st in the league. So that's not good enough, fam. Our assist percentage, yeah, is 60%, right? So, you know, more of our buckets need to come from assists. So that's not great. I think we can improve, but tonight was a step in the right direction. What else we got? Let's look at pace. New York Knicks still dead last in pace right now. Possessions. Oh, we've climbed up a spot, fam. We're 3rd to last in possessions now. We were 2nd to last, so now we're 3rd to last. So, you know, you heard it tonight by Stan Van Gundy. We do play slow. We walk the ball up the court, you know, in a calculated way. We just have to make quicker decisions, right? If you are going to be slow as a snail offensively, you have to make sure that you get quality looks and you shoot a high percentage right now. That is really important. Rebound percentage, that's encouraging. we are 11th in rebound percentage. So Karl-Anthony Towns at the full-time center. We're not really hurting on the rebounding side of things, guys. I thought we would hurt a lot more with the loss of Isaiah and Mitchell Robinson. We are hurting with the rim protection and giving up a healthy percentage at the rim, but we're not hurting with rebounding as much. And that's a big credit to Karl-Anthony Towns. He is rebounding the basketball quite strong, and so is Hart, obviously, and the rest of the guys as well. But look, in the league, net rating, 4.9, man. To be a 500 team, be a top 8 team in net rating, man, after a very mixed start. Like I said, we win a couple of those ball games against Houston and against Atlanta, and we're tied with Boston right now, and things look a lot better. And so, yeah, a lot of things to clean up still, including Brunson, picking up his game. But we're on the right track. AP says, yeah, Cavs and Nets. Nets are supposed to be the worst team. Yeah, they are a surprise for me, no doubt. I feel like the Nets, though, when you look at their roster deeper, they do have some solid veterans. Dennis Schroeder is a good pickup. He can fill it up. Cam Thomas is a scorer. And then you've got, Dorian Finney-Smith, Claxton, and you've got Cam Johnson, and some other guys as well. I think they're a middling team that can pick up wins. Steve says, yeah, nice win for us for sure. When Precious and Mitch return, we will really prosper. Yeah, I think that's another level of chemistry that we have to build, based on that. So let's look at, the other thing I want to look at is just our traditional shooting percentage in the league right now. So where are we at with 3-point percentage? So we are 7th in the league, fam, after tonight in 3-point percentage. So 7th in the league, shooting 38%. That's solid, though. But if we look at 3-point attempts, you got to go all the way down. Got to go all the way down to 23, fam. We're just not shooting enough. Where we are, 3-point attempts. Here we go in the blue. Yep. We've got to get those attempts up. But tonight was a step in the right direction. Right, 23rd in attempts, man. 34 attempts. Right. So I kind of thought that number was a lot lower. 34 is okay, but we can get that up a lot higher. Top 10, to be top 10 in attempts, you've got to get up 38. The Miami Heat. They're not even a great shooting team. Then you got the likes of Phoenix, Golden State, and all of that. Now, yeah, let's look at rebounds. Yeah, 23rd. So rebound percentage solid, but actually rebounds total per game, we're 23rd. Right, so we are missing some of that as well, from iHeart. So maybe we are missing that a bit more than I expected. 23rd in rebounding in totals, right? Steals, where are we at with that? We're tied with 27th in steals as well. So wing stop, we need you to pick it up. Get those steals up, fam. But that is where things sit, fam. We've got to get that defense higher up. Our offense, top 4 in the league. Net rating at 8th. Very, very early in the season, guys. But plenty of flashes to look to be optimistic. If our defense, like I said, can get back up to what it was, obviously when Precious and Mitch return, and that option to play a guy next to Cat, with the options of Mitch and with Precious, I think that's going to change our defense as well, and we'll see how Tibbs plays with that. Buzzer Beater says, when Chewy and Mitch come back, I can't see Huck getting any minutes. That is going to be tough, I think, but look, he's young, and it's next man up. AP says, CT, because of our defense, I don't think we're going as far this year. We'll see. It's early. But I think guys need to stay healthy. We definitely need to be durable. I think that's going to be a big key. Health is going to be a huge key in this East. Brian says Cleveland is going to stay a problem. It's not a fluke. I think they're going to be strong all the way through till the second round. But yeah, I think when it's the playoffs, fam, it's about matchups. I think that's what it's all about. And look, you know, when we made major shakeups and they didn't really make a major shakeup, I think our best is going to be peaking at the best time. And then I think they're going to come back down to the field a little bit, you know. For however good Cleveland are, they can't sustain an injury to a Donovan Mitchell or a Darius Garland. You know, they literally will come back to the pack. Whereas I think even if we played games without Brunson, or we played games without Cat or Bridges, I think we could still be a well-oiled machine. So that's where it's at for me personally, I think. But yeah, health is key for everyone in this East, right? As the New York Knicks picked up their 5th win of the season, we get ready to wrap this show up, right? Tonight, man, sharing was caring, 31 assists and the triple-double to Jay Hart, stand up. Great comments tonight from the chat. Appreciate the questions as well. And thank you for everyone for tuning in. Tomorrow night, we are back at it, fam. Hope you've had a rest because we're back at it tomorrow for our first back-to-back of the season at MSG. Another game, another time to get above 500 and hopefully, you know, gather that momentum that we need. Right, I want us to push on now, right? Get into the top 3, top 2 seeds in the East and don't look back. But pleasing game, 2 game balls given out. And I love the way Cat battled as well. Took that matchup personally against Joel Embiid. So, yeah, you know, tomorrow night, I feel like we're going to get a win. I feel like they know what's at stake. It's a shame our guys couldn't rest a little bit more. That would have been nice, but we'll see how fresh they look tomorrow night, guys. But salute to the chat once again. Buzzer says, are we better as a slower or faster paced team? I think we're better as to play a bit faster. There's no doubt about it. I don't want us to play this slow. I think we get up more shots, we'll have a better chance to win and be better. So yeah, for me, play faster. But you definitely got to take care of the ball. Antonio, appreciate you. Great comments tonight. David M says, I can't wait to see lockdown lineup. A Bridges, Duce, OG, Hart, and Mitch. Man, that is going to be big. And that's one of the reasons why I think we can shut down Cleveland. I think it's a matchup kind of situation where Cleveland, an awesome regular season team. There's just no doubt about it. You know, Donovan Mitchell is a lion and he can score in bunches, but I think we have the remedy, man. We can put them in a straitjacket and we can put the clamps on them. But yeah, Mitch and Precious have got to get healthy. Cat at the 5 against those 2 towers. That's going to be a tough matchup like we saw tonight. But yeah, many blessings to everyone. Salute. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And we'll see you tomorrow night. Hopefully our first back-to-back wins of the season, right? First wins in a back-to-back, right? And we move ahead and get above 500. Let's get it, right? Good losses by the Celtics and the Heat tonight, once again. So shout out to Detroit and the Hawks for beating them, right? But we pile on the pain for Philadelphia now. In the words of Mr. T, right? Philly, man, pain right now. 2-8, and the Milwaukee Bucks also struggling. So we got to capitalize and let's move ahead with another win tomorrow night. Let's get it. Salute, Knicks Nation. Peace, everyone.